Good morning, collective. Good morning, everybody. New day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Yes, happy Mother's Day. So happy to be with you on this fine morning. My name is Patience. I am your favorite spiritual medium, host of Spirit News on Spotify, where we teach you about non physical energy and how to go from the head to the heart with my very own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle. Thank you so much for all the love and support. We are so grateful for all of our viewers, and we're very happy to be here. Everyone who's new here, I'm a child psychic, and I repressed it for a long time, and we believe here at Spirit News that everybody has the ability to be psychic if they want to be. You can actually choose to be anything you want to be. Spirit always says variety, variety. So we come here because of the variety, and our innate natural form is a non physical electromagnetic field or energy or non physical ball of light having a human experience. So, the medium in which we pick up on information, on non physical energetic information, is that field. And so, everybody has the ability to be psychic. So, that's who I am, and we're here today doing another mystery read. If you're a true crime enthusiast like myself, you really get enthralled by the mystery of how people, or at least I do, I can't speak for everybody, but because of my empathic abilities and my intuitive abilities, I really get drawn to true crime because I want to know why people do the things they do. I want to know why people do the things they do. How do we get here? What happens to go from 0 to 100 to have such devastating outcomes, and it's really my honor and my pleasure to be of service, to use my gifts to be able to help. So we do have another mystery today, and I'm happy to do so. I'm happy to read the energy and see what comes through. I can't control what comes through. I do have to say, for legal purposes, this is for entertainment purposes only. I cannot prove any of it. It's all allegedly. But my hopes is that in whatever we pick up, whatever information comes through, it helps to heal the situation, or bring new information to help guide the case into a more positive direction for closure, so it can and for justice. So that's what's going on. If you want to find any of our socials or the podcast Spirit News, where we bring you higher perspectives of linear views, you can find that in the description bar through the link tree. And we've provided that for you so you can be part of our community, and we would absolutely love that. So, good morning. Have a lovely day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Fat burning in progress. I'm in ketosis. I just got a notification. That's interesting because there was something about there's something I was getting about this case, about weight, or about being fat or something. We'll see what comes through. But first of all, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy that you're here. Whatever here is meant for you. Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. Um, we're gonna talk to Ellen Greensburg today. If you saw the thumbnail, um, this is actually an old case. It's from 2011. We're gonna get into it. I'm just gonna give you a synopsis of what happened. I'm not gonna get into the whole story because I don't want it to affect the reading. I don't want it to affect the information I get. But if you could hit that like button, it would be greatly appreciated. It get us into the algorithm so people can find us. If they love true crime and they love psychic spirituality, that's what we got. So thank you so much for being here. All right, so let me tell you a little about Ellen, okay? Ellen first of all, is such a beautiful woman. Oh my God, her smile is lighting up the room. Okay, her smile's lighting up the room. She's a beautiful woman. She was born June 23rd, 1983, in New York, and she crossed over January 26, 2011. So it's actually on the older side, um, but it's completely tragic. Such she died at 27, I believe. So what it says, and this is from an AI overview on Google. I didn't write this. Ellen Greenburg died in Philadelphia in 2011 after being found stabbed multiple times in her apartment. Authorities initially ruled her death a suicide, despite the fact that she had 20 stab wounds and at least 11 bruises, and a lot of those stab wounds were in the back of her neck. So, like, you're like this. Oh, like I don't know, that just don't make any sense. And plus, I mean, you stab yourself in the back of the neck. How many stabs do you think you could possibly get in before you die? So very interesting. Um, and 11 bruises, which are you hitting yourself before you die? Like I don't get it. The case letter became a subject of controversy and legal action, with some questioning the initial determination of suicide. Yeah. She was found by her fiance, Samuel Goldberg. And I also had Spirit say a word endogamy, and I didn't know what that meant, so I looked it up. And it says the custom of marrying only within the limits of a local community, clan, tribe, or religion. Um, so something about only marrying their religion, that could be possibly Jewish community. I don't know that for sure. That's just like what I'm getting psychically. So we'll see. All right. So, Ellen Greenberg. The autopsy performed by Dr. Marlon Osborne revealed 20 stab wounds, including 10 to the back of the neck and 8 to the chest, as well as multiple bruises. Despite these findings, the death was still initially ruled a suicide. And there's something about Osborne, criticism of Osborne, the autopsy person. Um, Attorneys for the Greensburg obtained documents showing that Osborne had faced criticism for incomplete autopsy reports and other errors in his work, including instances where he overlooked evidence of strangulation. So that's a travesty. Like, what's going on? Like, why in the world? What is the Dr. Osborne? Is it just, negligence? Is it just no, being lazy? Or is there something more to it? So we'll see. We're going to find out. If you want to catch any of our other cases or mysteries that we have gotten a higher perspective of, we definitely try to post for you every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday morning. Sometimes we'll miss one because, we're living life and we're human. So it's all good. But for the most part, pretty steadily, we do every weekend. So if you want to, I try not to. I don't announce who I'm reading anymore because I find that the energy gets all like yucky. So I don't announce who I bring through anymore, but you'll know the day of. And if you want to be here, that's awesome. If you don't, that's awesome too. We're here for quantity, not quality. We're here to reveal, to heal. So that's what we're here for, and to develop our spiritual gifts. We're here every weekend. But if you want to catch any of our other mysteries, please do so. One interesting mystery we did is ongoing and current. So it's very exciting. It's the John O'Keefe mystery and the Karen Reed trial. So it's not exciting that I had to read it, obviously, but it is exciting to see it unfold and how new things that are unfolding match the reading. So that's very awesome for me to see that I'm reading energy, and anybody can do it. Okay, so Ellen, honey, please. It's funny that her her last name's Greenburg and his last name's Goldberg. So that's funny that they're both Bergs. Gold, green, I mean, Greenberg and Green and Goldberg. Oh, she ready? Okay, I'm sorry. So there's something about endogamy, marrying within their own religion. They could possibly both be people that have parents that are very strict on that rule, like you gotta marry someone Jewish or something like that. Okay, so Ellen, thank you so much for being with us. Holy Divine Spirit, Archangel Michael, please help Ellen to come into my energy field. I invite her in so we can share energy, so we can blend, so we can find out her perspective of what happened. Maybe we can help heal and bring closure to people. Cultivating gratitude and joy, letting go of scarcity and fear of the dark. I'm reading from The Gifts of Imperfection, um, which is so interesting. It's by Brene Brown. But before I read that, it's interesting because I had this, or I woke up this morning, I have a song, and the song was in my head, and it's this new song that I've just come into awareness of. It's by Lola Young, and I like it, but it's definitely about some kind of toxic relationship. So, it says, you know, I'm impatient, so why would you leave me waiting outside the station when it was like -4 degrees? And I get what you're saying. I just really don't want to hear it right now. Can you shut up for like once in your life? Listen to me. I took your nice words of advice about how you think I'm gonna die lucky if I turn 33. Okay, so yeah, I smoke like a chimney. I'm not skinny, and I pull a Britney every other week. But cut me some slack. Who do you want me to be? 'Cause I'm too messy and then I'm too clean. You told me get a job and then you ask where I've been. And I'm too perfect till I open my big mouth. Which is interesting because she does have like a really big smile. A really, I'm not saying she has a big mouth, but I mean, she does to house, that beautiful smile. So it's funny that it says that specifically. Um, Until I open my big mouth, I want to be me. Is that not allowed? And then I'm too clever. And then I'm too fucking dumb. You hate it when I cry unless it's that time of the month. And I'm too perfect till I show you that I'm not. 1,000 people I could be for you, and you hate the fucking lot. It's taking you ages, you still don't get the hint. I'm not asking for pages, but one text or two would be nice. And please don't pull those faces when I've been working my ass off all day. It's just one bottle of wine or two. Hey, you can't even talk, you smoke weed just to help you sleep. Then why you getting stoned at 4 o'clock? So it's definitely this toxic, unbalanced relationship. Possibly a lot of criticism. Like, I pulled these other cards and I didn't want to read them because they're kind of vulgar. But I was getting, and I don't know if this is true, this is all alleged, but the energy that it feels like is one person is, I mean, she's very beautiful. Okay, I'm just trying to choose my words wisely. She's very beautiful. She's skinny, she's pretty, she has a big smile, she's smart, she's um got a good personality, everybody likes her. It really feels like um resentment, and then that type of person in that wound of rejection, or feeling like the person they're with is too good for them. It comes from that place. The other person is that person that's, you know, projecting, like constantly criticizing the other person, trying to make them feel inadequate, like they don't do enough. It kind of feels like that. Um, and one person might be skinny and one person might be a little overweight, something like that. Because I was getting something about weight. And this book is called Imperfection. So it's definitely like a weird endogamy relationship, possibly almost like being together because they're both Jewish, but they don't actually like love each other kind of thing or something like that. Okay. So, oh my gosh. A good example of the way that love and belonging go together. Um she's saying that to understand what it takes to feel a true sense of a belonging, she wasn't able to be the real her to the table. She was only doing what she thought she had to do to belong. And so she didn't feel accepted. She felt like she couldn't be herself, just like the song said. Um she could have possibly started to think about how she wanted to live in love and started thinking about the relationship she was in and her experiences and her choices, and she may have had some kind of profound or tried to make some profound change in her life, because she got in her head about the relationship she was in and how the person she was with she didn't find joy with. um, she may have spent countless hours thinking about powerful patterns that didn't show her joy or gratitude. And she could have got tired of it. She could have started to get weary of living her life that way, of always being criticized, of not being enough, of not being skinny enough, of not being, this person's constantly criticizing her or really projecting his insecurities onto her. This person could possibly be overweight. I also was getting, and I'm just going to say it, I don't know, I drew a card that said something about a small penis. So um, it reminds me of this girl I knew. Um, and I'm just saying it as an example of endogamy. I worked with this young lady, very sweet, she was younger than me, and she was Jewish. And I didn't know much about the Jewish culture. I still don't, and I'm just saying what I know from this experience. And she was young, and she had this idea that she wanted to, or that she could only find somebody Jewish. So she would go on like Jewish dating apps, and she would go on dates with Jewish men because her family wanted her to only be with somebody Jewish. And she hadn't, and she was still a virgin as well. Um, she was looking for someone to, be with for the rest of her life at 21 who's Jewish. And I used to say to her, like, you do what you want, but I mean, you're only 21, or at the time she was like 19, I think. I was like, you're only 19, and I mean, you got your whole life ahead of you. You haven't even been with someone. You don't want the first person you're with to be someone that you end up resenting and not being compatible with because of endogamy, because your religion says you have to marry only someone Jewish, and you just pick the first person. So it kind of feels like something like that. These two people could have met through their parents or like through family members or through like their inner circle. And because it's hard to find, I mean, when you limit yourself to, I can only date people who are in my religion, and I'm not saying you can't do that, but I'm saying you're very limited into who gets put in front of you. You know, you're very limited in your options. And then not to mention that just because they are that religion doesn't make them compatible with you. It doesn't make them a good person. It doesn't mean that you're going to be very attracted to them, you know? So there's something about that. Okay? Okay. Tell me more. Where do you want us to go? I'm kind of feeling these cards. All right, Ellen Greensburg. Ellen Greensburg. I keep and then there's the Goldberg. That's so funny. They probably thought that was like, oh, we're both a Berg. Let's date. So this person that Ellen was with, and I didn't look up anything. I'm just getting the energy of something going on there. Okay? Eyes. Not a good card. Watching, gossip, stalker, slander. Looking deeper, hidden accounts. Hmm. Hmm. I did also get on when I was meditating before, she may have cheated, or someone may have cheated, or someone may have had a hidden account, or but that's funny that this came out. Not a good card. Tell me more about this card. Who was watching her? Who was stalking her? Who had a hidden account? Oh, you know what? Let me do. Tell me more about this hidden accounts, slander, gossip, stalking, watching. What about it? Oh, look, and at the top of the deck here, I got woman, wife, question herself. I told you this was some kind of uh, toxic relationship. Tell me about this stalking, watching, hidden accounts. Wealthy man. In reverse, though. So a yucky wealthy man. Someone who possibly didn't want a family. I have a man. I have a wealthy man here in reverse who possibly could have had hidden accounts, could have had other relationships, someone who wasn't ready to settle down and have a family, someone who possibly didn't see Ellen as a gift, or was in resentment of the relationship. So the relationship was in bad health. Bad health. The relationship was in bad health. This person had Ellen questioning herself about this relationship. I told you, resentment of some kind. Because when you have to marry someone you don't want to marry, or be with someone you're not attracted to, it can harbor resentment. Like being with someone just because your family wants you to be with them. Something like that. Who do you want me to be? 'Cause I'm too messy and I'm too fucking clean. You take me when I like the song. Mm. Tell me more about this man. What about him? He didn't want a family. That's key. He didn't want a family. He didn't want a family. He wanted to be a single man working on his wealth and his abundance. He didn't want to share his wealth or his finances. He didn't, or he was threatened by Ellen's wealth and abundance and business savvy, something like that. Or he's just somebody who's very stingy, who didn't want to share, who didn't want to um you know, when you marry someone, you you share everything. It's a choice. It's a spiritual contract that you go into. This person wasn't ready for that. Um, and so they may have treated her badly because he resented that he had to be in the relationship at all or something like that. He may have had hidden accounts where he talked to other people, where he may have um, been dating other people and then having other relationships, possibly. A big problem. Grief, burden, religious. I told you something about religion. Possibly Jewish religion. All right, tell me more. Variety. I told you. I told you. Yes, Ellen, come through. I'm I'm There's something here about endogamy, of having to be with someone because your family wants you to be with someone, not because you want to be with someone. Ellen could have possibly wanted to travel, to be of service, to go out into the world and be self-sufficient. This person could have possibly not wanted that for her. She wasn't attracted to him or something. Depression, sadness, water. There's a lot of emotions here. There's a lot of dark emotions here, having to deal with somebody who's constantly criticizing you, constantly, who do you want me to be? Because I'm too perfect till I show you that I'm not. 1,000 people I could be for you and you hate the fucking lot. And I'm too clever and then I'm too fucking dumb. I want to be me. Is that not allowed? Yeah, there's something, and the book said being able to be your authentic self. Somebody here wouldn't allow that. They made her question herself. They made her burdened by this problem of incompatibility. Control. Yep. Control. Home. Something about the home. Wanting to control the home, but it was in reverse. Yeah, there's something here about wanting to take her independence, or wanting her to have to rely on them, or having control of like their domain, their property. There's something about Mm. Yep. I can't make it up. Beast who allows nothing, needs control. Bouts of mood, stands in their way. Yeah, Ellen Greensburg is a beautiful flower, a beautiful woman, a perfect wife. Right here. What does it say? I'm too clever and then I'm dumb. I'm too perfect and then I'm not. And then I show you that I'm not. You hate it when I cry. Yeah, this is a weird abusive relationship. But it's weird cuz it's like, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. There could have been something about this person needs control and they want the family wealth. They could have it kind of feels like those families that are like if you don't um marry, within if you don't marry a Jewish girl, you're not going to get the inheritance or something. It kind of feels like that. Or you'll be cut off if you marry outside of the family. Like a very strict rule of you cannot marry anyone outside of our religion. And if you do, I will cut you off. So having that mindset and trying to keep a woman your family likes, but that you are so miserable that you treat them badly, it kind of feels like that. And I don't know if that's right, and I'm sorry if it's not. That's just what I'm getting. Okay. This person's cantankerous, a beast who allows nothing. They need control. They want wealth and success. They want to be the successful one. They want to be the wealthy one. They want to control where Ellen lives. They're threatened somehow by her beauty, by her. They're just a mismatch. They're a mismatch. Okay? One's heavier and one's skinny. One has a small penis and one's a beautiful flower that could get anybody she wants. I'm sorry. That's just what I got out of a card. I don't know if that's true. So what else? What else? Hmm. Who do you want me to be? 'Cause I'm too perfect. And then I'm too fucking dumb. You hate it when I cry, unless it's that time of the month. And till I open my big mouth. Is that not allowed? Ellen could have been illuminated about some hidden accounts that they have, possibly on Facebook. Um, she could have been illuminated about how um, her person has hidden accounts or um, has something that she looked deeper into, or possibly has like weird burner accounts that he like stalks her and watches her with, something like that. Um, she could have been illuminated to that because he wants her all isolated, all to himself. And so he's very controlling. He's very, um, oh, it's so funny. There's a lot of food in here. There's cake, ice cream, soda, sandwiches. He could be very controlling about what she eats. He controls, or he makes comments about what she eats. She could have possibly an eating, or she could have had possibly an eating disorder um, that was um, that was activated by this person wanting to control the way she looks, wanting her to look a certain way all the time. She could possibly have had to sneak food or eat a certain way around him, something like that. But she got illuminated about, or he got illuminated about her Facebook. I don't know. Something about a hidden account or hidden burner accounts. I think it's him or this person she's with. Could have possibly had, like weird burner accounts to spy on her to see what she was doing all the time. I don't think I've ever seen this card before. I don't know why other crows are afraid of scarecrows. I don't know why other crows are afraid of scarecrows. Then there's another food reference. Yeah, I told you it's like this person throws stones and then hides their hands. They act like they don't play a part in criticizing Ellen for what she eats all the time. There's something about what she eats, or something about eating. She's scared to eat certain foods in front of him. Yeah, I'm telling you. Like there's something about her weight and this person, and being afraid to eat what they want in front of them.
Unclear.
Tell me more. Thank you so much for being with us.
Chilling omens.
Mm.
In the rain.
Chilling omens. So from the outside looking in, the parents of these two people could have possibly thought that the differences between them could have possibly been cute or something. Like they never. I gotcha. There's a hat on these books, covering these books. It kind of feels like the parents had the veil of, oh, they must be a good couple because they're both Jewish and they both come from a good family. So then that automatically defaults that, oh, they're perfect for each other. When that
No
is
trace.
when that is no trace, when that is not what makes a perfect.
Strive to understand.
That's not what makes a perfect couple. That's not what makes a relationship. Just because you're the same religion and just because your families like each other doesn't mean that you should be together. And for parents to insist that their children be with people for those reasons and discard any other reason because that's what they had to do, that's not right. You can't do that to your children. Your children, I mean, in this situation, it did not work out. Maybe it works out sometimes doing that, but just because your families get along and you're both Muslim, Jewish,
Ashley
or
longs for
whatever
tranquility.
the religion is, doesn't mean you should be together.
Sidearm.
So there's something about um, there's something about not truly showing what was really happening behind the scenes, but putting on a good front in front of the parents so they wouldn't disappoint their parents, because there's something about, disappointing them. The parents could have been like older parents, um, or something. I don't know why that's coming up. But behind closed doors, it was a different thing. It was a whole different situation. Yeah, behind closed doors, it was arguments, and it was fighting, and it was crying, and it was this person always trying to get attention from Ellen. Ellen didn't pay enough attention to this person because this person subconsciously feels inadequate around this person. They're put together by their parents, not because they chose each other. And subconsciously, this person realizes that Ellen is, or perceives Ellen to be too good for him. So, what do you do when you perceive someone to be too good for you? You make them feel bad about themselves. That's what unhealed people do. They'll make you feel bad about yourself, they'll put you down, they'll make you feel like you aren't pretty, like you're not skinny enough, like you're not enough, just like the song says. I want to be me, is that not allowed? This person knew that Ellen could get anybody she wanted because she was a beautiful butterfly. She was a beautiful woman. She had a big smile. She had a big personality. She was very sweet. She could have possibly also had an eating disorder that this person knew about and kind of used that against her to make her feel like she couldn't get anyone else. And it's funny because when you're, and that's so funny because I just did have someone come into my awareness that I knew nothing about a vegan. There was this vegan girl who just passed away recently who was a vegan influencer, and she made all this content doing her vegan stuff. But lo and behold, I mean, I could clearly see just by looking at her energy that she was also anorexic, and she didn't die from being a vegan. She passed from being having an eating disorder. So there's something about that as well. Okay. What else? Thank you so much. What else do you want us to know? Let's all dance. The hidden accounts could have been that she found out about, could have possibly been about, this person could have possibly been talking to underage people on hidden accounts that they found out about, and could have possibly been, going dancing and or whatever, going out or going on dates with underage people. Let's all dance. Going on dates or talking to people online through hidden accounts to underage people. Hmm. This bunny has a bunny, someone who could possibly have some kind of Captain Save-A-Ho syndrome, or want to always look like the good guy, the hero, the because this person has something wrong with their ego. There's something unhealed. I got a card that said something about a small penis. I know that that can affect men's um, confidence and make them very, have to overcompensate in other ways. So there's something about that. Um, Tell me more. Yeah, she could have possibly found out about the accounts, and that became a problem. There's something that this person's trying to protect when it comes to wealth. Hurry and clean up, mom's coming. Hurry and clean up, mom's coming. Hmm. She could, when she found out about these burner accounts of this person talking to underage people, she could have possibly threatened to, that could have been like the last straw. Like that, like I'm not gonna put up with that. I put up with a lot of stuff from you, but that's like the last straw. I can't be with somebody like that. So she could have possibly wanted to leave, you know, she wanted to leave. Um, it was like the epiphany she needed to realize that, you know, this person is not who they claim to be. And so she felt like she had to separate herself from this person. Um, so she wanted to leave this person. She wanted to leave them. Tell me more about this hurry and clean up, mom's coming. Do you have a favorite family recipe? I told you. She threatened to tell his family. I know what you've been doing. You've been talking to underage people, and I don't want to be with somebody like that. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell my family. I'm gonna tell your family. Everyone's gonna know. Everyone's gonna know what you did, and I'm not gonna be with you anymore. I'm tired of you telling me what I can eat and who to be, and you don't even like me. And that's funny because these cards say like you. Have you ever had a side hustle or considered having one? Yeah, this person could have possibly had someone on the side that they also found out about. Interminable.
Sewing kit.
What's interminable mean? Who do you want me to be? 'Cause I'm too perfect and then I'm too fucking clean. You hate it when I cry. Oh shoot, my thing's not responding. Mmm. There we go. Interminable. Interminable?
Here's the definition of interminable: endless, often used hyperbolically.
Tiresomely long, seemingly without end. And that Spirit said that one, have you ever had a side hustle or considered having one? So this person's a chronic cheater. This could have happened in the past. This person it's tiresomely endless. They're endless when it comes to their toxicity. There's like no um winning with them. There's no give or take. There's no flexibility. There's no compromise with this person. It's their way or the highway, and they're just very stuck. They're very controlling. They're very it's like they want their cake and eat it too. They don't want to not be with this person because it protects their wealth and their family or something, or being the golden boy of their family, something like that. What is your opinion on open relationships? I cannot make it up, you guys. I can't make it up. Did you believe zodiac signs tell you the truth about a person? Do you have a doppelganger? Yeah, this person was cheating on her with multiple people because he didn't actually love her. He was just with her because her parents hooked them up, and they both felt like they had to be with each other because of their parents. They didn't want to disappoint their parents, and they grew up with this idea that you have to be with, whoever your family sets you up with, almost like an arranged marriage, but not as much like that, but almost. This person could have gotten with somebody on the side who's younger than them, but is a doppelganger of Ellen, someone who's literally like an identical. It looks just like her, like they have a type or something. Then they found the truth out about this person, and they were gonna tell their family, and this person couldn't have that. What would your friends say is their favorite thing about you? Under what is your opinion on open relationships?
All of my anger.
Mmm.
Employ.
Mmm. It's possibly something about one of her friends that could have possibly um had a relationship with somebody she was with. Possibly. This is something she never thought in a million years would ever happen. It was like beyond her imagination because she showed kindness to this person and she was good to this person. Um, if she could travel in the past, she would change the fact that she overlooked a lot of red flags because she has many talents that were held back because this person didn't want to see her shine. She would put a warning label on this person. If she could go back into the past, she would warn people about this person, or someone may have warned her about him. Have you ever been in an interracial relationship? She could have possibly been so against going outside of her religion that she really, attracted somebody that was in that energy that basically she felt trapped to have to pick within a very limited, circle of people that she could choose from. Okay? How did you play when you were younger? She could have had dreams, or she could have possibly had a crush on somebody who was not her religion, who could have possibly even been a different ethnicity altogether. Um, and that's when she felt the most loved, was by that person, but she couldn't be with them because that person didn't fit the endogamy. That was her biggest insecurity, that she had to be with somebody she didn't even love just to fulfill her family's belief systems. Do you believe in fate? What beliefs are you willing to suffer for? I cannot make it up. I can't make it up. Okay.
And number 4.
It's just if we think of it as energy, imagine being younger in modern society. This may have been very prevalent as a rule, back in the day, and this goes to like the Bible. There's many things in the Bible that are great, that have moral, stories and lessons, and that's great. But there's also many things in the Bible that are ridiculous that we still try to uphold today, And it's the same with any religion. If you're Jewish, and that's just in this situation, and from what I've experienced through people that I've met who are Jewish, you get this, or even like an arranged marriage. It's like you're young. Imagine being young and everyone else around you is having crushes on people, that whoever they want, but it was ingrained in you at such a young age that you can only be with people who are Jewish. And so you grow up and you go to school and you have a crush on a boy who's a completely different ethnicity to you, and you guys click so well and you get along and you're best friends and you feel so good around him, and he makes you feel, she makes you feel real good about yourself, but you know it's your biggest insecurity that you can never be with them because your parents would never allow it, and they would disown you if you even thought about going outside of the circle of the endogamy of your religion. And so your beliefs become your parents' beliefs because that's how they did it and the parents before them did it. It's like, when do we change? When we're just going to be with people that we don't want to be with, because they're the same religion. And that's just doesn't make any sense anymore. We have to change.
Fanciful.
We have to change.
Equal harm.
So he will harm. Yeah. What beliefs are you willing to suffer for? So just this really weird mindset of feeling like you have to. Well, I have to. It's what's done. It's just how we do it. I have to be with this person. The family says I have to be with this person or they'll cut me off. You know, I'm willing to suffer for what I believe in. It's like, no, Spirit says anything that makes you feel bad emotionally, that makes you have anxiety, depression, fear, that's a no. And you shouldn't force yourself to feel those things
Champion.
because your religion says you're supposed to.
The malevolent
That's
spirit.
not true. So she's definitely coming through strong on that front. What else? All right. What else do you want us to know, Ellen? I hear ya. So this person was very controlling behind closed doors.
17.
He needed all of her attention all the time, and he was
19
also
tens.
possibly cheating on her with younger people. When you haven't been dicked down in months and a guy brushes your shoulder at the supermarket, they possibly couldn't didn't have sex for a while, possibly because she found out about what he was doing. When you hear a sad song, so you stare out the car window and pretend to be in the music video. She had to pretend for a little bit to be interested in him because she didn't know how to get out of the situation, or she was trying to figure out how to get out of it. When your parents blame their divorce on you. She possibly could have mentioned something to her parents, and her parents did that thing that they do. That's reminds me of this picture where they just stopped that in the tracks and said, "Well, you got to figure it out. There's something that you're doing wrong. You got to figure it out." Because they didn't want to hear it. They just wanted her to be with somebody who's well prevalent in the community and whose family is a good family. They didn't really take a lot of interest in what she was saying. They just automatically, shut it down and said, well, you got to figure it out because you guys are getting married or whatever. When Monday rolls around and you have to put a bra back on.
Terry.
When Monday rolls around, you have to put a bra back on. So she always felt like she had to, you know, she never had peace for being herself. She always had to put that face back on, that brave face. She always had to act like everything was okay. So what happened the night that you passed? What happened the night you passed? Hits blunt. Why can you drink a drink but can't food a food? Yeah, there's something about this person controls the way she eats, but yet he drinks and he's fat and he eats whatever he wants and something like that. Something could have happened that night. Hits blunt. He could have hit her. because she stood up to him because she's tired of this person. When you see a vegetarian eating animal crackers, yeah, there's something about she could have been a vegetarian or something, or became one because she was, I don't know, criticized so much about what she would eat. When you get called a gap tooth bitch, but it's not your fault, you're so gap toothed. When you get a text saying, call me. She may have found out about these, she found out about these hidden accounts that he was talking to people who are underage. She didn't know what to do about it because she didn't want to, um, pretend anymore. She was sad that this person she didn't want to be with this person anymore. So she started to not, kind of slowly break away. She could have possibly started to, not have sex anymore. And then she would, um, try to tell her parents that, I'm not interested in him anymore. We're kind of not working out, and her parents stonewalled her about it. Like, you got to just figure it out because there's something you're doing wrong if he's not interested in you or something like that. And then finally it got to a point where she got tired. She's he's always like, call me, and always controlling and always trying to see where she's at and what she's doing and what she's eating, and she's never good enough, and she just got tired of him. And when she found out that he's talking to other people and they're underage, that was it. They got into some kind of argument. They got into an argument on the phone, possibly on the phone. They possibly got into an argument on the phone. Danger. Thank you. They possibly got into an argument on the phone. He was saying real nasty things to her, and she was just like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to put my bra back on. I don't feel secure with you. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh, I just dropped all these cards. So, yeah, illuminate, revealing truth. She could have called him out. She finally, during this interaction on the phone, this argument, she could have called them out and said, I know what you've been doing. You've been talking to underage people behind my back, having hidden accounts. I found them. You left it open on your Facebook, and I saw who you're talking to. And he was like, he was trying to apologize, trying to fix it. But she called his bluff. She called his bluff. And she's like, no more. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to give you another day. I'm not going to do it anymore. So I'm done with this relationship. And then that made him extremely clouded. It made him go into some kind of discord, some kind of distorted energy. He went over there. Let me see what else. She called his bluff. She's like, I'm going to tell everybody what you've been doing because I'm tired of putting up with you. You're talking to underage kids, and that's disgusting. I don't want to be with you anymore. So this was over the phone, and he came over. He could have rushed over there, but I don't think that she knew that he was going to do that. Yeah, because she cut him off. She cut him off. I can't make it up. She cut him off because he was lusting for, he was non-committal. He didn't want to commit to her because he never wanted to be with her in the first place. So she was tired of the pain he was causing, and all of the stress. She wanted to be done with it because she knew that he wasn't right for her. But he kept wanting second chances and another opportunity. So he's like, I'm coming over because he's living in a dream world. He was claiming that he wanted to heal, but really he was holding on and obsessing about her. He didn't want to let go of the tether that they had because he knew that if she told the family that he minor, I told you, because he's with minors. He didn't want to get cut off, so he tried to anchor onto her so he could because he was in denial about what he did, about what he's done. He took a risk and he got with he took a risk, um, had unprotected sex and unsafe decisions, and she didn't want to be with anymore. She was tired of his gambling their relationship, and she was ready to let go. So he went over there, possibly to influence her to change her mind, um, to influence her to change her mind. But she must have let him in. She didn't trust his intuition, but the chemistry between them was no more. And then she was shocked because unexpected turmoil happened, trouble happened, because he's been watching her and observing her and knew that she would not make any more terms or negotiate a relationship between them. So his world was shattered. He was in a panic attack. He was in a panic state. It made him ravenous. It made him insatiable. He didn't know what to do. So I told you, she stopped answering his calls, and this made his emotions completely go into some kind of I don't know, discord or something, because she's amused, and knows that she can get anybody she wants, and he has heart fog. He's messed up. His emotions are blocked. So his pride and his arrogance, he was stubborn. He didn't have clarity because of that. But she was about to find peace because she was letting him go. But this made him conflicted. And he broke some boundaries because she was creating distance and he wanted a second chance, but she was resistant. She didn't want a family with him anymore. She sees the signs now. She realizes all memories with him were horrible and they were not good, and she felt trapped with him because he's a clown. He was always degrading her appearance and shaming her and humiliating her. And so his ego was so arrogant and he had too much pride. He couldn't stand that she was letting him go because he thinks he's some kind of catch or something. But he has a side piece, many side pieces that he strings along because he's a lusty weirdo. Okay? So he went over there. She didn't expect it. She was very withdrawn, and that's karma. That's the consequences. That's the cause and effect. He created a conflict over there that made him feel hopeless because he could tell that she was really better off and that she really didn't want him anymore because he's a divine masculine in reverse. He's a cheater. So he had to silence her because he was going to tell her his family, and he needed to make sure that that confession didn't happen, that message never came through. So he created a conflict, and one thing led to another. One thing led to another in that conflict because she was determined to let him go. He tried to, finesse her for a second chance, but he knew that she would put her foot down, and that's it. I'm done with you. Being with the minors was the last straw. No, she said. She said no. And he couldn't let that happen because she would go tell the family, and then he'd really be cut off, and he wouldn't have the wealth. He'd be an unwealthy male. But what else could I say? In this situation, if anyone's watching this who could possibly look, I would look at his Facebook, people he's talking on his social media platforms. I would look at emails, text, stuff like that. There's definitely something there about burner accounts and minors that he was talking to. There's definitely someone that's under a different name that is a minor in their phone. I don't know how you could get that information without Um, how could I get? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a there's definitely a motive to be found within hidden accounts of Facebook or emails or text messages or something like that. Specifically Facebook, is what I'm getting. Okay. Thank you so much, Ellen. What's the lesson here? What do you want people to know? What do you want us to take away from this? What would you have done differently? Disappear. She would have left. The past is the past. That's it. Done deal. And we cannot change it. So let's leave that where it lies. There's not, let's not touch it or engage with it. We can recognize it, we can accept it, and we can redirect in favor of something far more satisfying and filled with possibility. The past is the past. That's right. We have to stop pressuring our children of today to withstand and withhold these past belief systems that aren't there. It doesn't matter anymore. Those days are gone. You can become Jewish. You don't have to be born Jewish, and that's the same for Muslim and for any religion that you want to be. If somebody loves you unconditionally and you find someone, they will practice that religion with you, or they'll allow you to practice it. It doesn't. It is not something that we need to be, pushing our children to, pressuring our children like you can't find anybody to love unless they're this, and setting these limitations for our children, and then they grow up and they feel so trapped, and they feel like if I don't do this, I'm going to disappoint my family and they're going to cut me off, and then my life will really suck. Like, no, we shouldn't be doing that to our people, to anybody. And so the past is the past. That's it. Done deal. We cannot change it. Let's leave that where it lies. Let's not touch it or engage with it. We can recognize it, we can accept it, and we can redirect in favor of something far more satisfying and filled with possibility. Yeah, we don't need to do things that don't feel good emotionally because our parents think we should. If your parents want to have conditions on loving you and they say, well, we won't love you unless you be with somebody that we choose for you, then you got to say goodbye to your parents, because that's not fair. That's not fair to put someone in that position and make them feel like, okay, well, I guess I'll do it because I don't want to not be loved by you. That's horrible. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you, Ellen, for being with us. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. I definitely, if anybody has the power to do so, would start taking a look at the fiance's emails, texts, and social media accounts. And that would get them to another place of investigation. I love you so much, and happy Mother's Day. Bye bye.